going to cut it for YouTube and Facebook. So this is the Ryan Gosling tier list. As you can see, basically perfect, fantastic, good, okay, haven't seen it. Now, I chose this tier list on tierlistmaker.com, tiermaker.com, pretty much because it has all the movies I've seen, and so I figured that Logan would ruin my YouTube video by making me hit the dab. Oh, that was a good one. Now, as I said, I've seen all these movies. However, I am going to put 2 movies under haven't seen it. I'm going to put Only God Forgives. That's going to go on haven't seen it. And that's because it is readily available on Netflix. But I got like 15 minutes into it, and there was some content in it that kind of turned me off to it. I don't really want to repeat it on Twitch. But it's definitely viewer discretion is advised, and I personally didn't feel comfortable watching it. So we're not going to put that on the tier list because I can't make a fair assessment. Another movie that I've technically seen, well, not technically seen Only God Forgives, but I have seen Remember the Titans. But I don't remember Ryan Gosling being in the movie. So it wouldn't really be fair to rank it because I don't remember if he was good or not in it. And I didn't even know he was in it until I looked at this tier list because I'm such a big Ryan Gosling fan, obviously. So with the haven't seen it's out of the way, let's see what we have to start with. So we'll, should we start left to right or right to left? We'll start right to left because it's easy. La La Land, probably Ryan Gosling's best movie, if we're being honest. Ryan Gosling has a type. He's really good at a specific role, and kind of shitty, kind of sleazy, but kind of a heart of gold character. You know, he really combines all that well, and I think that's where his strong suit is. So, La La Land kind of brings it all together. Number 1 is La La Land with a bullet. So, that was easy. Nice Guys. This movie is hilarious. There's a lot of gut-busting laughs. Ryan Gosling's character in particular is hilarious. His sense of comedic timing is very strong. Oh my god, are there birds? Hey! Hey, birds! Go away! Alright, well, sick. Alright, those birds are ruining the stream. So, Nice Guys. Hilarious. Great comedic timing, good on-stream chemistry with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. Overall, pretty funny. The only reason it's not basically perfect is that the plot, it's a comedy, so the plot doesn't matter too much, but the movie itself focuses on it a lot, so it becomes important. And so I kind of lose the thread a little bit there. But the comedy of it is just amazing. It's hilarious. Lars and the Real Girl. That one is good or okay. The thing I feel about this movie is that the movie's written well. It's shot well. There's no real complaints I have about the movie other than I think there would have been a better actor to play Lars instead of Ryan Gosling. I don't think he does a bad job. I think he does a pretty good job as kind of like a mentally ill loner. But I just feel like somebody else would have been better in it. That being said, it is enjoyable. There's some funny moments. There's some awkward moments. But overall, good or okay. I may change it as we progress. What's next? Blue Valentine. This one's hard. This one's really hard. Because this is very similar to La La Land in terms of playing to Ryan Gosling's strengths. However, it made me cry. And I can't recommend it to anybody because I would assume if you had a good heart, it would make you cry as well. But yeah, I have no flaws with this movie other than it made me really sad. For those of you who don't know, it is from the same director who made Place Beyond the Pines. And it is about a couple falling out of love and falling in love. It's basically maximum. It's designed to ensure maximum feels bad. It is real bad. It is real bad. So, but it's amazing. Everything's perfect. Literally the only thing I don't like is it made me cry. And we have Big Short. Yeah, Goose is not in the stream. Hold on. Let's move him back a little bit. There he is. Big Short. This one's hard because it's a really good movie, but Ryan Gosling isn't in it enough for me to really think of it as a Ryan Gosling movie. It's kind of an ensemble cast rather, with Christian Bale, Steve Carell, and Brad Pitt all doing excellent jobs, but it's just like, out of the four I just mentioned, he's the least like focused on. He's almost like a side character. So this one's going here mainly because it's a good movie, but it's not really like a Ryan Gosling movie, if that makes sense. Like he doesn't, his acting is good and adds to the movie, but he doesn't carry the movie. You know, like equal parts, all four of the ensemble cast carry the movie. So it would feel wrong to put him higher on this tier list. I feel like the movie itself goes higher, but it is where it's at because of the lack of Ryan Gosling in the role. So next is Drive, and Drive is I have put some lore behind Drive. I love Drive. This movie's great. I love this movie on a personal level. Objectively, this movie does nothing for Ryan Gosling's strong suits. My man doesn't get to do any of the things that make him good in these three movies, or these four movies even. These tiers are ordered, by the way. So La La Land is better than Blue Valentine. Big Short's bigger than whatever else goes in this list until further notice. But Drive is just not that good of a movie. Like, I really, really like Drive. I freaking love Drive. I can watch Drive, like, literally every day and not get bored of it. Because I never pay attention to movies anyways. But, like, man, it is just not good for Ryan Gosling. Like, you really don't get to see his strengths as an actor in this movie. Except his, like, good looks and, like, silent romance charisma, I guess. I don't know. He looks good driving a car. Crazy Stupid Love. Similar to Big Short, Ryan Gosling is not predominantly featured in this movie. He is there. He is a side character. But the thing about Crazy Stupid Love is that everything he does in Crazy Stupid Love, he does better in La La Land. It's just diet La La Land. And he's not in the movie enough with Emma Stone to, like, I don't know. He's a good character. He's a good actor in this one. But his story feels so, like, inconsequential. And as a result, he doesn't really impact the movie overall. So it's okay. It's all right. First Man. This is definitely my least favorite one of all the movies on here. Now this is a Ryan Gosling movie. Don't get it twisted. Unlike Crazy Stupid Love or The Big Short, he is the main character. However, this movie is pretty boring. For, like, pretty much up into... It's called The First Man because it's about Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin going to the moon. And Neil Armstrong's story, up until he literally gets in the rocket to go to the moon, I don't find very interesting. I also don't think it plays to Ryan Gosling's strong suits. that much, and I think it's overall it's pretty boring up until you get to when he's actually physically going to the moon. Everything when he is literally going to the moon is amazing. Like the way it's shot, the sound, the everything is great. But everything before that's pretty boring. I was not a big of a fan as I would have hoped. Let's see, The Notebook. This is hard. The 1 second, Logan. The Notebook is, I think that's fine. The Notebook is a good movie. Ryan Gosling is good in it. And it does play to his strong suits, but he, it kind of, it hasn't aged well, or maybe I'm just kind of, like, dead to romantic movies, because, like, it was good, it was sweet, but it was kind of just, like, a romance movie. Like, I don't think there was anything special about it. Like, Crazy Stupid Love, it's also a love movie. So, but there's a little twist on it. It's not like two young people falling in love and growing old together. Like Notebook's pretty by the numbers. Blue Valentine's like The Notebook, but realistic. So like if you like The Notebook, but you want it to be real, just watch Blue Valentine instead. The Notebook's really good, but I wouldn't. Yeah, it's just good. It's kind of middle of the road for Ryan Gosling movies. Blade Runner. Better than Lars, worse than The Notebook. This one is probably the best movie that Ryan Gosling has been miscast in. I don't think he does very good. Well, no. His character is supposed to be like silent, depressed. He's basically Drive, but like sci-fi. Like he's basically doing the Drive role again, and the Drive role isn't super great for him. It's not great, but it's still a good movie. I think it's way better than Drive, and I think even though he's miscast, I think he still does a good job. But like, there's not much to do a good job with. He just kind of has to stand there. He reacts well to things, like his whole romance with Joy. That's pretty good. That's pretty much the saving grace. Actually, is it better than The Notebook? Yeah, it's better than The Notebook. I would recommend Blade Runner before The Notebook. But would I recommend it before The Big Short? That's the question. Would I recommend it before The Big Short? That's hard. Nah, I'd recommend The Big Short before Blade Runner. Half Nelson. Ooh. Come on. It's really good. It's almost perfect. I want to put it in basically perfect tier, but it's just the only thing I don't like is it's shot very much like an indie movie. It's shot like with like, I don't know. The way that it's shot takes me out of the movie. Like there's scenes of like kids reading off historical things about like unions, workers' parties, stuff like that. And it just kind of takes me out of it. I think that's the only thing, is the way it's shot takes me out of the movie. Otherwise, it's superb. Ryan Gosling in this movie, so good. The whole story itself, so good. It's amazing. I would put it basically perfect if there was like a few less like camera cuts. And last but not least, Place Beyond the Pines, the movie that set this all off. Now, I would say this is probably my favorite Ryan Gosling movie. It's probably top 3. This tier list doesn't accurately reflect my personal tastes. You know, I would change it up a little bit if this was my personal taste. But I would say objectively, Place Beyond the Pines is above The Big Short, below Nice Guys. Because Ryan Gosling's only in it for 1/3 of the movie. He's only in it for like 45 minutes. And the movie's a little over 2 hours. So that makes it hard to put it higher. But the thing is, Ryan Gosling's character arc and like whole character, and this is so good and so compelling and so interesting. I love him. And it's not like he just like leaves and he's not talked about. Like he's still as important to the story at the beginning as he is at the end, you know. Because the movie's told in parts, you know, like he's always there. He's always important. There's never a point where he's not important. So I feel okay putting it there. The only thing is like I said, it's in parts. It's in 3 parts. The third act, it's a little shaky. I think is the way I would describe it. You know, there's nothing wrong with the third act, but like the first 2 acts are strong. If the third act like nailed the landing, probably basically perfect. So yeah, that is the tier list actually. So we'll just break it down here. La La Land, no real flaws. It's great. It's Ryan Gosling at his best. Blue Valentine is Ryan Gosling at his worst. No issues. These are all great movies. Would recommend La La Land. Wouldn't recommend Blue Valentine. Half Nelson, fantastic. Definitely deserves the fantastic moniker. But the camera shots take me out of it a little bit. I don't like how they had shot. Nice Guys, hilarious, fantastic. It's a little too much focus on the plot for a comedy, and it kind of loses the thread a little bit. The Place Beyond the Pines, third act doesn't really land, is the only reason it's where it's at. Otherwise, it's great. The good movies, Big Short, really good. Ryan Gosling's really good in it. Only thing is he's not in it enough for me to feel like putting it higher. Blade Runner 2049. Ryan Gosling is miscast. He does well with the role he has of Drive 2.0, but it is not their best. It's not the best. It doesn't show off his range. Notebook, really good acting, really good movie, feels good, but a little too generic. Lars and the Real Girl, really cute story, pretty quirky. It's a fun movie. It's a sweet movie. I think somebody else besides Ryan Gosling would have been the best choice. Drive it's a movie. It's one of my favorite Ryan Gosling movies, but it's not good enough to recommend. Actually, Drive goes above Lars and the Real Girl. That's I realize now. I would recommend Drive before I recommend Lars. Crazy Stupid Love it's a rom-com, and Ryan Gosling's not in it enough for me to rank it higher. And First Man, real boring. Not a fan. I mean, the moon landing sequence, pretty based, but yeah, it's not great. I've seen better. What was that? Oh, what up, Luke? Welcome. Thank you for the follow. It is much appreciated, my man. I'm chilling at cool 66 followers now. And then, haven't seen it, Only God Forgives. It's a little much content-wise. And Remember the Titans, I didn't know Ryan Gosling was in it. And I didn't have time to watch it before the tier list. So this is it. This is the final product. I'm going to probably chop this and throw it up on YouTube. And I'll post the actual tier list on social medias. And we'll field any questions that may be asked about why I have done what I have done.